You know what's so funny is that when I get a fresh haircut, I look like someone who would bully me. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is hautemesstom, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new here, this is Messmas, and welcome to Messmas. What Messmas is a month-long project in this December where I'm trying to use every item of makeup I have before the end of the year. So, every day this month I put my makeup to the test and then I put it in a bin, and I can't use the makeup in that bin until I've cycled through a whole category. So bronzers, like once I got through all of my bronzers, I could pull them back out and cycle through them again. And the idea is to get to know my makeup collection a little bit better. Generally, my channel is all about loving my collection as it currently stands and being critical of new makeup releases. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I would love to have you subscribe. We appreciate likes on this channel, and I'm also on Patreon if you want to see and hear more from me. We have a party to go to tonight. We have a birthday to celebrate my friend David's birthday. Again, I asked the people of Instagram what palette they would like to see me use, and they voted on the Natasha Denona 28 Pan Purple. And wouldn't you know it, the plastic sheet is still in this one because I've been too lazy to pull it out of this one. Now, I would say between the two Natasha Denona 28 Pan palettes, this one's lesser interesting to me. But it is called the purple palette, which I find interesting because I see one purple. Now, there's like a lot of purple-based colors, but I wouldn't call those colors purple. You know, there's like purple-ish colors, but I swatched them all. Can you guess which one was my favorite shade? It's this one. It's this one. I want to put it on my face. I want to put it on my, like, I need you to see. Look at this. Look at that. There are some other beautiful shades. Like, I've already played with this shade a couple times. It's a duochrome, which might be more party appropriate. And it has some of the purple in it, giving it, you know, some of the namesake. Look at that. And then I also liked this shade up here. I'm really into like these metallics. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do this silver one because it reminds me a lot of the one I used whenever I played with the 28 Pan Green palette. I also kind of like the corals in here are very beautiful. Like, ooh. I was swatching this before I sat down to film because I wanted to kind of have a game plan. They're all very pretty, and I think a lot of it, they would work really well as like inner corner situations or like all over the lid, but because it's evening time, I kind of want to go sultry. This shade has a lot of chunky glitter in it. What does it look like? It's not a very exciting color, is it? I mean, it's beautiful, but is it exciting? So I think I know what I'm wearing to the party, but I haven't fully decided on that. So I think we're gonna, you know, the purple mattes. Did I swatch this one? It doesn't even look touched. Oh, that shade's really pretty. Can you see? Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, but it's like not the journey we're on. Okay, so I think, I don't know. It's like the purple ones are like, it's like the purple ones are just like they're not shiny enough for me. And I thought I'd be able to top it with, well, I guess this might still work. Like if I do my lid this color. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud, and you're just part of the process with me. That actually looks pretty. Like that's actually kind of a good base for this purple. That's what we'll do because I need to use more glitters. So we're doing purple, baby. Not where I thought this journey was gonna take us, but okay, why is this glitter just like saying absolutely the heck not? If you are new here, I skip through some portions of these videos now because I have cycled through a lot of my makeup multiple times, but I powder the same way in every video and I prime my eyes with the same thing. I'm gonna prime my eyes with the MAC Paint Pot and Painterly, and we'll go from there. I also set the MAC paint pot with some translucent setting powder from Laura Mercier. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna do my like the eye shape that I really like the bigger one, because we're having us a party. But I'm gonna build a gradient with these purple shades over here. So I'm gonna start with this one, then go to this one, and then go to this one. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone feeling? My friend David, as I said in my last video, is a drag performer. I'm gonna ask him if he'll be comfortable with me posting his Instagram in the description here, so you guys can go follow. I mean, I'm assuming he won't mind, but also I wasn't really expecting this color to work so beautifully, and it also has a bit of a sheen to it, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm okay with. And I'm gonna be meeting a lot of new people tonight. I'm pretty extroverted here online, and you know, I do post here online, which would, you know, tell someone that I'm probably okay with people knowing about me, and I'm like okay with people knowing about me, but I'm not always like, you know, comfortable like talking. It takes a lot of exertion out of me. And I think another thing that happens, people think I'm more interesting than I really am. Like I don't know. I don't find myself to be that interesting. I do things that appear to be interesting, like, oh, you're an AMAB person that like puts on makeup and dresses femme, and it's like, yeah, and to me that's like not interesting, because you know what I'd rather be doing is like staying at home watching YouTube videos and going, ooh, like having a commentary video on and like learning a little bit more. Okay, so that was that light purpley blue. Now we're gonna go into this purple with a slightly smaller blending brush and lay that just a little bit below. These are like, this is pretty bright for Natasha Denona, these shadows, and they're actually a very nice formulation. I normally don't like working with brights. I find brights to be a little more fussy. I'm not that I like always do effortless eye looks, because I will, you know, do a shape like this or something and like really put some time and effort into it. But my standard for quality of brights is like different than a neutral. Like I have, a neutral needs to be effortless for me to put on. It has to have no fuss to it. Brights, I want like higher impact and higher pigmentation, and I'm okay with them being a little more difficult to work, because typically I want that pigmentation more than I need it to be easy to use, but I still want it to be user friendly. What I'm getting at here is that normally I wouldn't use something so diffused if I was using a brights palette. I would normally like pack on first and then blend. These brights from Natasha Denona are giving me pigmentation and ease of use, which I don't know. It's not that I feel like it's like it's not that I used to be someone who like favored very colorful looks whenever I was doing my own makeup. And I just think that I've moved away from that, but I still like color. But to me, I've like moved on to it just like, it's on the lid. It's like a cut crease, and that's like the bright part of my look. But if they all performed like this, I don't know, I'd be very into, this is, okay, this eye look is already, I haven't put on such a bright look in so long. Now I'm gonna take an even smaller blending brush, and then we're gonna go into like that burgundy shade. I'll pull it up for reference. I guess I could tell you the shade. I still have this thing. Oh, it's aubergine. So there you go. I'm gonna go into the shade aubergine. And if you're new here, what I basically do with the deepest shade is I keep it on the furthest outside part when I'm doing this eye shape, because I want the depth right there. I don't need it to take it all the way over. I'm not liking the way it's showing up with this brush. I'm gonna get something a little more dense. You know what? I just think I thought that the shade was deeper than it is, because it's reading very light, like it's blending Well, I get, no, it is adding depth. It wasn't for a second looking like it was adding any depth to me. Yeah, it's doing something. It's doing more than I'm giving it credit for. I'm going to take a flatter brush. I'm going to take the aubergine shade and connect it to my lid and blend it up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that this shade is different enough from the other two. I don't know. Just wish it was deeper. And there's a mid-tone brown, but I don't know that that's going to be much deeper. Like if I use that, I don't know that it's going to have the effect I want either. I'm not gonna be able to post this look tomorrow because I want David to not see it until I get there. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm a little bit nervous to meet some new people. Also, I know that this is like probably not popular for me to talk about, but there's like a new variant of COVID going around, and I don't think it's like too high here yet, but my brother is a nurse and I live with him, so I feel that like that I hear a little bit more than other people considered. I just feel like I've been seeing a lot of things get canceled out of anticipation for this variant because it's so contagious. Again, I would say I'm not trying to be a resource here. I'm just saying, like, you know, just keeping my eyes peeled, and I'm not trying to be controversial, you know, that's not what I'm doing here. I'm just saying that that's a concern, and I don't know these people, all these people at this party. I don't know how responsible they are, you know, with being one, vaccinated, or two, do they wear their masks in public. I'm gonna take this purple shade, or this, I don't know, whatever this shade was, and put it all over the lid. It looks so much less purple against like truer purples, but it does have that purple hint to it. I'm not doing a cut crease or anything wild like that today, so I'm just gonna blend. Also trying not to use my fingers today. Well, I just swatched so many things. I'm really just kind of getting tired of putting shimmer on my face with my hands when I use primer. I fully meant to use glitter glue for this shimmer. Oopsie poopsie. For the inner corner, I'm gonna use that shade. It looks fine. It's missing something. It's like, but if I put this glitter on the lids, that's gonna be like the star of the show. You know what? We have to do the glitter. We're going to a birthday. So I'm just gonna suck it up, buttercup, and lay it down, and it's gonna be fine. I forgot to say this before. This is the shade Enigma from Slayfire. I only have a couple glitters that are not Slayfire branded glitters. I don't know if you are a glitter person, but if you do wear glitters and you have a color switch, I often just wipe my fingers into the color switch to get the glitters off. I'm gonna take a spoolie and I got some outside of the lines in which I would like them. Not that the glitter needs to be perfect, but I mean, the glitter definitely took us to a new place, took us to a new level. Makes me feel like I might have to put on lashes, which I'm not gonna do. Like, I'm not gonna do it. I will come back to the eyeshadow palette after we put on some complexion. I do want to do drop shadow. When you're going this big, it's just weird when it stops there, so I just need like a little bit more going under the eye. For primer today, it's something that's been through the rotation a couple of times. It's the All Nighter primer from Urban Decay. I'm nervous to meet new people just in general. Like, David is my newest friend. We met through Bumble BFF, and that was like this year, and it's been a delight to know David. I would consider David is rapidly and quickly catapulted himself to the top of my friend group. I think about, you know, that's always like it's like a nice thing, right? To have a friend that's like, you think of very highly. I forgot to dampen a sponge. I will be BRB. I will be using the Hydra Rescue from Estee Lauder today. We've already had this one come through, I think a couple of times. We're a couple times through foundation, right? Who can keep track? But that's gonna be the foundation today. Anyway, so like meeting people, it's like tough. I think another thing about meeting new people, as someone who is like an extroverted introvert and someone who spends a lot of time alone, is that I have no filter for my face. And so if I meet someone tonight and they start saying some like ridiculous stuff, and I don't believe anything's gonna come up tonight that wouldn't be like kosher. They wouldn't be like, we would all be okay to talk about whatever things we talk about tonight. But like, if someone does something stupid or starts acting stupid, my face is gonna go, it's gonna do things. It's gonna do things. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I thought whenever I shaved my eyebrows that would solve some of the problem, but it turns out my expression comes not all from my eyebrows. Because you know how like when people like, it's like I don't know. I used to remember like this, people would say like, if you don't have eyebrows, like no one would know how you're feeling. I'm here to tell you, at least for me, that is not the case. Wow, this combo is really nice. I mean, I like the Hydra Rescue and I also like the All Nighter Primer. I don't know if I've used them together or if I did, I've forgotten how they look together. They look really good together. Concealer, Pat McGrath. We're gonna do her. We're gonna use her today. I also have used this a couple times throughout this. We're just gonna dot some here. We're doing a more high impact look because it's a party. And will I be sweating? Probably. But also the lighting, you never know. Also, we gotta impress our drag queen peers, drag performer peers with my abilities to paint my face. Although this is, you know, I just don't do this all the time. I don't always highlight down the middle of my face. Sometimes I do. It just like depends on the mood. Also, it depends on what concealer I'm using. The Pat McGrath is light enough to do it, but some of the other concealers I have are not. So I'm just hoping that my face doesn't speak before my mouth can tonight. One time recently with the person I'm going with, we were out to dinner and a kid got a little bit too close to our table and I didn't think that I had reacted at all. But they said, I think we need to go. And I was like, why? We had already paid, so it was like, we were like kind of just lingering at this point anyway. I'm powdering, by the way, with my normal powders, but now I'm talking, so I'm not gonna speed through this. They were like, no, I think if anyone would have seen the way you reacted to that child getting this close to the table, the child was running around. And I was like, why is this child running? We were at a bar, mind you, or like at a place that like is more for adults, right? We had to get wristbands to get seated. So like, before I powder the rest of my face though, do I want to use this today? Will this look good? I think it will look good. I'm gonna Pop It from Westman Atelier. And this is also, we're going through blushes again for the second time. So I'm pretty stoked about it. And I'm gonna buff that out real quick. It looks so much more vibrant on screen, on the camera, than it does in real life. I don't know if I've mentioned this, like, but I think I have mentioned that, like, children are not my destiny. And I'm not like mean to kids, but I like, you know, it was one of those things where I wasn't expecting to be in a space where there was children based on like where we were at. And the child was like running around. They got really close to our table, and I was like, that child's like too close to our table. I'm actually gonna do that trick that we learned from Katari88, or Megan, whose name I now know. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take it and put it on top of the pink cheeks, just to diffuse the light here. The blush took over a little bit more than I wanted it to today, but I think we've gotten it to a place that is fine. Tom Ford bronzer, another thing that's already cycled through a couple of times. I told you that the embossing's starting to wear away on it, which I said I love, and I stand by that. And we're gonna have to bronze into the fade that I just got today. So that's always fun. Also, I like got my hair cut and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold my hair out of the way. Oh, I didn't contour. We'll contour over the bronzer. I had to be removed from a situation because a child got a little too close to me. I wasn't gonna hurt the child. I just wasn't thrilled that it was near me. I'm gonna contour real quick with Rhodial. This is also a common occurrence in this series. Okay, I think this is, since the eyeshadow, this is like the first time I'll be using this. Ooh. Okay, I have Moon Pillar. And Linares. No, Moon Pillar is better. Okay. So from Rachel Defee, this is the Moon Pillar Rare Light Luminizer. It has like a little bit of purple in it, so I think it's gonna go really great. We're just gonna tap that in. I think I've very clearly and loudly established my love for the formula of Rachel Defee cheek products, so I'm not gonna go into it that much here. But if you are new here, just know that it's like, I think it's like the best highlighter formula. It just is, and I just like the way it looks so much on the skin. I like that because it's a cream, I feel like it melts into the skin. And although that they like the Rachel Defee shades they're like not a natural shade, they meld into the skin and like almost make you feel like it could be. I am gonna say this particular shade seems to be a lot more, I don't know that this is the right word, but like loose. It's like not, I don't know, when I press into it, it moves around a lot more than the other shades. Like you can see here, this is a newer one to my collection. You can see like how, like it's pushed in quite a bit, even though I haven't used it that many times. That's not a problem. It's still working really well. It's just like something to note. I think for birthday effect, we're gonna do a little bit on the nose. And we'll do a little bit on the cupidо. We're gonna do some drop shadow. I almost forgot. I was like, I looked at my face and I was like, before we spray, what do I need to do? I'm gonna take Aubergine again, even though it's like not my favorite shade, and take it under the lower lash. I'm kind of liking where this is going. I've been like a big question mark this whole time, but I think we're looking good. I think we're actually looking very good. Please. Gonna spray my face. I'm gonna come back with mascara on and then we will put on a lip. I don't normally put mascara on the lower lash line, but whenever I have like a bigger, bolder look like this, I do, and I take a little fan brush. Because I don't need all the volume and all the drama of like actually like pulling the brush through. Also, it's how they taught us to do mascara in beauty school, actually, because when you're a working professional, you'll normally use like a squeezy tube of mascara because you don't want to contaminate. Or you could just carry a bunch of the disposable wands around and like only put that wand in once, but I don't know. It's a little more eco-friendly, I would say, to use the same thing and then use a brush because you can reuse the brush, because you can clean the brush. We're looking very 2016 Tom, very 2017 Tom, but very elevated, very elevated. But these are like colors that this is very me of that time. I'm gonna wipe my lips off so they look a little less rusty crusty, and I will be right back and let's talk about lip. I gotta be honest. So, ooh, this would be a good opportunity to wear this. Yeah. This is Sorry Not Sorry from Pat McGrath. This is Discontinued. They don't make this formula. This is the LuxTrance formula. This is the formula that isn't matte. It's like more of a satin, you know, just, it's not glossy, but it's also not matte on the lips. It's like a very neutral, I don't know what to call it. I don't even know what to call the finish. It's, I don't know. It's just not matte. But I'm gonna put this on. Oh, okay. I think that wraps up the looks, babes. I'm gonna zoom you in for us to look at the skin. The foundation and concealer are looking really good, especially on top of that primer. Skin's looking healthy. For as much makeup as I have on, skin's looking healthy. The glitter, the purple, ooh. Glitter's always better from afar. Glitter's always, like, its effect. It's better from afar. When you can see all the particles up together, it's like not as fun. The cheek. The blush looks really good underneath this. Like, they layered really well, which is great because I was feeling a little self-conscious about the cheek. The bronzer, it looks really good. We're contoured. Concealer, I really am liking this Pat McGrath concealer. I don't know why I ever stopped using it. Like, I don't know what ever made me say, like, pause for the cause, but I've been really enjoying using it throughout this project, so that's been a real win. Here's the lip, the not matte lip. Beautiful color, beautiful color. I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm just gonna show you guys. So something I like to do is will undo all of the vanity. And so this is having one light come on to give you like, oh, effect, darling. So this is the kind of lighting that I would like take photos in, just like having one angle of light. It's not the best to like see all of the work, but you know, I just thought I would show you that. Oh, one more. There we go. Now's the time in the video where I reflect on everything that I used today. And I tell you how I feel about having used it and my thoughts and my feelings, and I talk about my feelings. I talk about my feelings a lot in these videos. But, you know, when you're posting daily, what the hell else am I gonna talk about? So I think we only had 3 brand new things, but we're gonna run through all of the things I've used. We'll keep it short on things I've talked about before. The Natasha Denona 28 pan purple blue. I gotta tell you, I was very impressed with the quality of these 2 mattes specifically. Not that this one didn't blend, but I don't think it's as dark as it looks in the pan. Like, it wasn't as dark as I thought it was going to be. It still worked and at the end of the day, it still worked. It did what I needed it to do. But these 2 were very easy, bright colors to work with, which I wasn't expecting from Natasha Denona. This color was really gorgeous, but against the purples, it wasn't like, this was what I used on the lid, and it read really gray compared to those purples, which was interesting. And this was a really beautiful inner corner highlight. You can still see it, even with the glitter still doing its thing. So, don't love this one as much as the green one. Like, if I could only pick one, I would pick the green one. But I would say if you are someone who is interested in Natasha Denona and you really like the color story of this, and you like are a person who wears brights, I don't think you'll be disappointed with the quality of the mattes, the bright mattes in here. The shimmers are a little all over the place. Some of them are very metallic. Some of them are just like very satiny. So there's some trial and error there. Like, this has like really big chunks of glitter. I wasn't really impressed with this one. I think you can see the big chunks of glitter. And then when I swatched it, it was just like, I couldn't even tell there was glitter in it. And it was just like a murky brown. So that's that on that. It has its place in my collection for sure. But I would like to pull out again and like play with the other things going on in here and do something a little less purple, a little more of a lot of the other things going on in there, but still had fun playing with it. It was very easy to use. The Slayfire glitter in Enigma. I'm gonna give you a close-up on the glitter. Very beautiful. Actually, I would say, weirdly enough, out of all of the shades that I've used so far from Slayfire, I don't know if it's like this one's newer or because I don't use as much as some of the other ones. I think like the glitter adhesive, because it's a gel, I think the adhesive in this one works a little bit better because while I still got glitter in a lot of places, it was very less messy than the other shades I've used this far. So I really enjoyed playing with it today. It really looks beautiful. It's gonna do what I need it to do. It's gonna be the star of the show. It's gonna help me be the star of the show, which is always the goal. So I appreciate its service today. The other thing about glitters though is like, even though I'm not using them consistently or very constantly, they're gonna be good for a long time. And they have a reactivator gel that they sell. So even though I have the gel based ones, if the gel were to dry out, I know that I can buy a reactivator gel from the brand. The All Nighter Primer, a beautiful primer. It is a really lovely primer. Also, it's starting to get used up, which is quite a delight. If you're new here, I think this is a lot like the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. It's very similar. It's not like an exact dupe, and it's not, I'm gonna say that they're pretty much on par. So if you prefer a pump and you don't like the jar, I like the Bobbi Brown a little bit better, but this is a nice alternative. If you don't wanna, I don't know, this is probably about $40. If you don't wanna fork out the other $20 for the Bobbi Brown, understandable, it's pricey. I don't think this is a bad option. It's a very nice primer. I also think that it paired really well with this. It made it look really glowy. It's already a glowy foundation, but I think it really added to the Hydra Rescue. So this combo looked really gorgeous today. It looks really gorgeous. Like my skin looks healthy and glowy, like a healthy glowy, not like a too glowy. So this, with the powers combined, that was good. So I'm gonna try to remember that because that's good stuff. The Pat McGrath Concealer is something that I am falling back in love with. I don't even know that I really liked it. I remember there being a learning curve with it. I always use too much. So like you saw the little dots that I used today, that's like all I would ever need. If I was wearing less makeup, I would have just done one dot on each side on the under eye and blended it out, probably with my finger. So I've been really enjoying this. Now that I have the control over it, it looks good. Full coverage, a lot of makeup. It looks really good, less makeup. It's just a great concealer. The Westman Atelier Blush and Pop It, I don't think, we didn't get on as well as we did the last time. This definitely I feel like is for like less makeup, and also like if I want the blush to be the star of the show. It just is like the color. It's definitely the shade. I bought the wrong shade. I shouldn't have bought this shade. I should have bought something that was more everyday wearable for me. However, today it really worked out, especially once I put the highlight on top of it. I think those two together really play off the eye very well. I also probably put on too much. I like did a whole thing. It was like I like blacked out and I was like, yes, yes, this blush. However, blends out beautifully, is pigmented, is beautiful. I think this was more of a user error today than the product's fault. So I'm gonna go ahead and own up to that. The Tom Ford bronzer in 02 Terra. Bronzed, gorgeous. You know I'm not gonna complain about it. This Moon Pillar shade is gorgeous from Ritual de Fille. Again, this is a rare light luminizer, no glitter inside of it, just shine. And boy, is it really doing the thing. It looks so good. It's reading so well on camera. It looks good in person. This lip in Sorry Not Sorry, this LuxTrance lipstick from Pat McGrath is gorgeous and it works really well with today's look. Everything reads more bright on camera than it is in real life. It definitely is more purple and goes with it. Like also my eye looks way more pink on camera than it is in real life. It's definitely, we're purple, but we're looking gorgeous. We're ready for this party, I swear to God. I do wish that the LuxTrance lipsticks would come back. I don't know why we went away with them. I prefer this formula to the Matte Trance. Full disclosure, just prefer a lip that isn't matte in general. So I like this, but it's not shiny. Like I was trying to describe this to you, like you can tell it's not really shiny, but you can also tell it's not matte. It's just, I think that this leads to better comfort, and I'm not looking for like all day wear or like staying power. I just like don't care about that. I am not gonna put this in the bin. I'm gonna take it to the party with me because we'll probably have to touch up. I don't talk about hair products a lot, and this is like something really weird for me to slide in at the end. I just like was thinking about it. I bought this Kristen S loose styling powder, working texture. I really like this. I love a textured powder, and I bought this not that long ago. Like this is my first time trying it. I like it a lot. I like the way it holds my hair, especially for having shorter hair. I don't know what the hold's gonna be like in longer hair, obviously, but it really adds that texture because I always get my hair texturized, like the top texturized when I get the sides done. And it really just, it helps show off that texture. So if you are someone who's interested in a textured powder, I believe this was about $10. So I bought it at Ulta. So I just wanted to shout that out. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, I have a whole playlist linked down below of me trying out my entire collection, this whole project, using it up before 2022. Check out that playlist, and it's in chronological order, so if you really want to see how things played out day to day, that's where you can do it. Also, subscribe to this channel if you're into like what I've done today. And again, we appreciate likes on this channel, and I am on Patreon if you want to support me there. That's all out of the way. Just remember to follow your hote and you will find me. Thank you all again so much for watching. I will see you in my tomorrow's video. Bye. Friends.